When you feel like you're nothing, but you wanna be something, yeah. Well, all you really need is hope. I just want you to trust me if you wanna be something.
That's right. Let's go. Yeah, when you're feeling down and you're out, like you got nothing but doubt, you're alone in the crowd, just trying to figure it out. All of this cloud and this money got you feeling left out. Listen up to me now, every word that's out of my mouth. Wake up, it's me. You're gonna follow your dreams, or are you just gonna be another cog in the scene? You feel the hope in this beat, yeah, the hope that you need to proceed and be exactly what you want it to be. I feel right and I'm proud, hype and I'm loud. I'ma shout all about how I feel in the now. Ain't nobody ever gonna try to change me till I'm dead, pushing up daisies. I'm alone in the crowd, I won't feel down. I got hope right now, and I know I'll be found. I don't really care just what all of the haters gotta say. I know everything I do is gonna make them fade away,
And when you feel like you're nothing, but you wanna be something, yeah. Well, all you really need is hope. I just want you to trust me if you wanna be something, yeah. Then all you really need is hope.
Let's go, yeah, it's what you need when you're down, need when you're out. It's what you need when you're sad and when you feel left out. You feel an energy drought and then creeps out, but with a little bit of hope you can figure it out. Keep your head high even when you're down inside. Through the pain you fight and through the painful nights, you keep striving, keep trying, keep driving, rising, keep thriving, surviving. Nothing's in your way but yourself, don't need nobody's help. You can make it through this hell, take it one step at a time, one step as you climb. If you fail you'll be fine, get back up to the grind and never lose sight of your mission. Be driven, this life is a prison if you don't have vision. You're in it to win it, so get it, don't miss it. Your chances now, so be something somehow. Don't let yourself down. That's right. Sometimes all we really need is hope.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. How's everybody doing? Hello, hello. Hi, Salty C. Hi, Mark W. Hi, Sip. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Petunia. Good afternoon, Just Linda. Hi, Seclusion Works. Hi, Brandy. Hi, Kimberly. Good afternoon. Hi, Reality Wins. Hi, Jess. Hi, Lioness. Thought it was day 50. It depends on which day you're going by, right? 49 days. It's been 49 days since February 26th. So 49 days since February 26th. Depends on whose count you're going by. Are you going by the 26th or the 25th? That's why you're going to see it different places on different channels, but 49 days since the 26th. So I go by the 26th because that's when he was reported missing. He was last seen, of course, that evening of the 25th. So it's 50 days if you're going by when he was last seen. It's 49 days if you're going by when he was reported missing. It's been a long week, guys. I'm so sorry. I've been so MIA. Of course, I had strep throat and then it turned into all kinds of other stuff and I've just been sick. I have just been down for the count. I am finally able to talk without it hurting though. Still getting stuffy and stuff, but that is what it is. Um, getting back into the swing of things though, and Sebastian, of course, is still missing. And so I did want to talk about a few things that happened towards the beginning of the case, kind of rewind back to day one and look at what is the plausible, what could have happened to Sebastian. Some of the things that we hear on the dispatch calls, I'm not sure if you guys have listened to the dispatch calls yet play out, but there is a channel called Jessica Danielle. Let me give you guys her link. She did clip out all of the broadcastifies from that first 12 hours, and it's kind of interesting, honestly, to hear the way the police are talking about him, to hear them talking about, he has in the past gone under cars and different things like that and hiding. And it's kind of a contradiction to what Katie originally told us. Like, she basically had originally told us that he had never run off before, he's never wandered off before, and you hear something different in the dispatch audio. We also have seen other things, based off of the Facebook groups and posts where his aunt or his step aunt came out and said something like, "Well, check vehicles because he's hidden in vehicles in the past, and check undercars and things like that." And so, really, I think there's more questions than answers. There continues to be more questions than answers. Michelle After Dark this morning actually did a really great video, which I recommend you guys going to check out if you haven't already. It's only about 10 minutes long, but she actually talks in her video this morning about a plausible theory as to where Sebastian may have gone. And if we're talking about him actually leaving the property, walking off and heading to a different direction. We drop her link here. You signed the petition Seth has out there to get the FBI to take over the case. Yes, I've seen that. Hopefully we can get the FBI involved. I'm just going to pull this up and show you guys very briefly some stuff that Michelle said in this video. Again, go over and watch the whole 10 minutes. She gives you the whys behind what she is thinking for where she thinks that he could have possibly gone. But she does show this map and the theory that she has about him possibly maybe could have walked off. Let me start it right around here. She says basically that he could have walked off back out of the house through the common area and then come over to this construction area and walked through, and that he could have headed at that point towards his old school, because his old school up at White House is where he was constantly always wanting to go, not his new school, not the school that he's currently at. And so, is that possible? I don't know. I don't know. I can get the petition for you guys. Hold on 1 second. Let me just play what she says here.
This is what was said on the dispatch audio.
He had some ties at White House High School, and every time he got in trouble, he wanted to go back to White House. So I notified White House PD, and I notified this SRO.
That when he got upset, he wanted to go to White House School. Now, White House School is about 8.5 miles away if you go by the road, all the way north. You've got to go all the way up to White House to get to the school. So it's all the way up here. White House School. Now, apparently, there's 2 high schools in White House High School and then White House Heritage High School, but in this vicinity. So did Sebastian start walking? Because you've got to also remember what day it was. It was Sunday night going into Monday morning, and Sebastian would have been at school on the Monday morning. What about this? He didn't want to go to beach. He wanted to go to White House. So in his mind, he thought if he went to White House School, no one would say anything because he was at school.
So just a plausible theory. Like I said, go listen to her whole video. I think that this is more plausible than him just getting unalived or his parents doing something to him. I still think that Sebastian ran away. I still don't know. I still don't believe that he didn't have shoes, just Linda. Only because they're being so shady still about the shoes that he owns or doesn't own. And then the other side of things is they went from he wouldn't go outside without his shoes, he would never go anywhere without his shoes, to then mom told us in a later interview that she actually had to yell at him all the time to put his shoes on because he would go outside in just his socks. And so, was he wearing socks? Was he wearing slippers? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, but I am going to say I continue to not trust dog scents. You walk across frozen grass and it wasn't frozen. It wouldn't have been frozen that night. There was no ice on the ground. There was no ice on the ground. So I don't know. So that's just something to keep in mind. Michelle put that out there this morning and I was like, you know what? That actually, if he really did have an issue with walking off, which is something that we haven't really heard until this audio, is it possible? Let me pull that back up. So here's the dispatch audio. Let's take a listen to this. Again, this is credit Jessica Danielle for pulling this all out for us the way that she has, and we're going to talk about it as it's going through. So this is 19 minutes worth of dispatch for the first 11 hours.
1008 Capricorn, 1008 Capricorn, Hendersonville. Caller guys, that their 15-year-old male is not in the bed. Medium white male, 3 blonde hair, approximately 5 foot. My friend is going down.
As far as where the scent is, we have had missing children. Literally within 20 minutes, an hour, police show up and there be no scent, and then that kid get found a mile or two later, a mile or two away, right? The fact that there's no scent, I don't have a problem with that. Just because these dogs are flawed. I mean, Riker Webb is a key point and evidence. This child walked away from his house, ended up 2 miles away, almost in a shed, basically, and dogs did not track him. Dogs is not what found him. And they had dogs there. Yeah, you never know if there was a pair missing. I do not trust scent dogs. I don't. I've watched them fail on too many cases. I've watched them take cadaver dogs out and go search for a missing teacher, and search and search and search and search and search, and they came up, couldn't find her. And then a month later, they found her, like some random person walking through the woods was able to find her almost 20 feet from where she went missing. Yeah, scent can be lost and changed from different surfaces also, right? I just don't think that just because they said search dogs didn't pick up a scent, or did pick up a scent, or picked up a scent and followed it to the pond, or whatever freaking happened, because we hear a different thing on scents every single time. I just don't think that there's anything to do with the scents. Like, you might as well just forget they even had freaking dogs out there.
Going to be wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants. Juvenile does have a form of autism. It's the first time it happened. I'm going to be in the home before midnight. The doors are locked at this time.
10-4 Monroe.
Drove to 47-180, 412. Juvenile left his son at the house. The mother is driving around looking for him in the Victoria Place subdivision, and she is driving a baby blue Infiniti.
So this is the dispatch audio saying Katie was out driving around. That's one of the things that we didn't hear that in the first interview. And so then whenever we heard it in a later interview, the world lost their minds because, now she was out searching. Well, we hear that in the dispatch, that she was out searching.
Let's get there and see what's going on. Do our own search of the residence. We'll go from there. I'm in the area. Check one hold up. Just seeing it. You can text me as this route and route to the missing juvenile.
I took Personal Medical Center ER, Center Station ER, Center Regional ER, and Skyline, all clear of the juvenile. You can see that the code red has them on at 745.
Next big track back up. Going into the construction site over here back towards the beach. It's awful muddy. Do you see any footprints, anything?
So this is where the Max thing happened, where they said that Max Follow descent to the thing here. She must have missed that, but Max is the dog. You feel law enforcement blame dogs for not finding someone instead of accepting that they are lazy and the problem. Maybe Jess. I think part of the problem is that dogs are trained different ways. And if there are scent dogs that do something wrong, it's because they probably weren't trained as well. And I hate to say that, but I have seen amazing scent dogs that can track somebody right to where they are, right? But it's just I've seen it be missed. I've seen it missed too many times. Too many times. Yeah, Seal, don't post that in here either. Why would you bring it from Facebook to the Sleuth Mom chat? Because now people are gonna screenshot it and be like, look, Sleuth Mom's mods are saying that he was found. He was not found, guys. He was not found.
Couldn't have any shoes. I do have some footprint right there where you're standing. Yeah, leading right over here to the ravine. No shoes, just footprints. He literally dove into it.
So she cuts that part out too. You didn't post it. You did post it like 7 comments up. You said someone posted in the Facebook group that Sebastian was probably found. Yeah, it can also be the handler. The one in the Watts case was also terrible. Yeah. It just, I don't know. There's all kinds of things there. But she cut that part out too, because we know that there was like some controversy. We couldn't hear whenever they were talking if they said with shoes, without shoes. There was no, we don't know if it was just a footprint or if it was a shoe print, which part it was. But yeah, so that's still
For dirt, headed straight this way on the track that he was running. Do we have a picture yet? That's simple. What was that heat signature at? Where the riprap is, where the trees are.
So they're talking about at this point they had helicopters and stuff like that up. They're looking for different heat signatures and things in the search for Sebastian.
25 feet, maybe out in the middle. Hey guys, the construction zone, there's another pond. There's somebody standing in the woods. It looks like a person. It is a person, we know, but there's another pond. He's standing back there by himself. Past the construction zone, in the same area back there. Yeah, the north end of it, yeah. Down over here, go straight back. There's a person in the woods by that pond. There's the house on the other side of the tree line. Going back toward beach or going on the back side. Yeah, on the back side, and he's not moving. He's just standing there by himself in the woods.
Like, how creepy would that be, first of all, while you're out there searching, and there's just some guy standing in the woods by the pond? But obviously that does not turn out to be Sebastian. Yeah, the preliminary search was really urgent. The officers were going off of what Katie said. Right. They were.
It's Hendersonville 517. I'm on the northeast corner in the cemetery across the tree line. Am I close? No, the backside. Mickey, if you can, do you have anybody there with you? Stand by. Let me see if I can find it on my map. I got my drone grounded for the moment, and I'll see if I can do it. Target's over. One of the two. I'm in my truck. Two, there's 4 of us on foot coming across the yard, start directions. 19's on the screen. Straight in. Keep it on. Go left. He's come back, he passed it. There's no right there. Won't be there. Won't let you going. Into the woods. You should be about 15 foot from it. What's John's first name? Should be all over it, whatever it is right there. The 2 people walking the woods. It's a mannequin. Sorry, guys. Look just like a person from the air.
A mannequin. Could you imagine a mannequin? Why is there a mannequin standing in the middle of the woods? Maybe he was running away from vehicle that got that far. They picked him up, took him. He actually did get to pond. Man, who knows? No, we don't know if they were bare footprints. We don't know if they were shoes. We don't know because that part's cut off there. Can you imagine the start those officers had? I know, when they saw the mannequins, most likely jumped out of their boots. I know. It's so freaking weird. It is weird, Nicole. I agree.
US 66, what's the name of the child that we're looking for? First name is Pat. I'm sorry, can you repeat that? First name is Pat. Last clothing description was black sweatpants with a white stripe, black long sleeve t-shirt with a print. Just one thing. Nikki, how many drones do y'all have up? One at the moment. I've got mine grounded so I can get started up for a while. I'll be back in the air momentarily. 29 Central on scene. Put 2 out here with me. And for, has anybody been there since the initial? There's a whole bunch of people here now. 4 in the home. Can you help me listen to the radio on the north end until we wrap this up, please? Yes, sir. Brandon, you've got Hendersonville Mounted Patrol coming up there, and Joe's sending some more cars if y'all want. If we can start from the beginning, from the original house, and set up a new plan up there.
Right around like 9:20, 9:30ish, that they started back at the house again. Hi, Callie Dime. Yeah, the mannequin would have freaked me out. Me too. There's no way. There are crops right near it. I don't know. There was like a pond. You're thinking because of like to keep birds away, I'm assuming. Like almost like a scarecrow who uses a scarecrow instead of a mannequin. And just Linda, that's fine. You can have your own opinion. I just will continue to think that Sebastian has run away or somehow is with someone where he is alive. I won't believe that he is deceased or that he is unable to come home safely until we have proof of some sort of foul play in this situation. Because as of yet, there is still nothing telling us that Sebastian is unalived. There is still nothing telling us that Sebastian is deceased in this case and that police have any suspects in a criminal investigation or anything like that. They haven't even used the words criminal investigation yet. So, and that's where I'll just keep staying. You know, I'll keep looking at the details of this case in a way that we can analyze and look at it and see it from everybody's point of view, but giving you guys my input on where and how and why I think he ran away. Do I think that he had the happiest home life? Absolutely not. I think it's very clear, based off of the little pieces of their lives that we have seen, that Sebastian and at least Chris had a tumultuous relationship. You know, we're hearing about all these horrible, horrific things that happened to him, including SA. He had a lot of reasons to not like his home life. He had a lot of reasons to reach out to different types of people and look for love and comfort somewhere. That I don't think that he was getting from any of the adults in his life, unfortunately. And so I just will continue to think that he's alive. I have to. Otherwise, what's the point? Yeah, until there's something firm. Yeah, law enforcement said no foul play, but you can't see him running away in the middle of the night. I mean, honestly, if you go back in time, there were people who thought that Alicia Navarro's mom killed her. Go back in time to that case and look at it. There was a lot. There was a lot of people who speculated that she could have been deceased. And she has now been found safe. There was a lot of people who thought that Kaylee Jones was deceased. She is found safe. Gracie Mitchum, another one that people thought that there could have been foul play from her family. She is safe. Home, safe. lured from somebody online. You still just don't understand why they started to get him treatment when it happened so long ago, right? You wish someone would ask Seth. I think Seth has taken a break from interviews, and I'm kind of glad in a way. I'm a little bit glad in a way, because we don't need any more horrific details about this kid's life out there. But as you guys have all noticed, I'm sure, the internet in general has taken a break from Sebastian's case over the last couple days, because there's a new hot case, right? There's a new story with new people to hate. And so you kind of seeing like a shift in a lot of people moving away from talking about Sebastian. And so that's why I'm still going to talk about him, and still put his name out there, and his face out there, and talk about where he could have gone, because it's important to not lose sight of the fact that he is missing. We can't lose sight of the fact that he is still out there somewhere, and he needs to be found. Yep. And a lot of those parents got bashed and dragged through the mud, and for what? Exactly. It happens. It does. It happens every single time. It really does. But this is what I said, like, as soon as Seth stopped talking, that people would move on. And so I don't know if he was told to take a break from the internet. I don't know if he just decided to take a break from the internet. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where his motivations lie. I think the last thing that he was on Crime Lines and Lies recently. And then that's the last thing I seen from him. I think that was like 3 days ago. He's kind of gone radio silent over the last 3 days. But I know there's been a lot of talk about the fact that he had mentioned that police aren't telling him anything. Well, that's what happens. Police are not going to talk to you if you are talking to the internet. They're just not. Um, they are not going to tell you any details. And I've seen that in so many different cases where the police are not going to give you updates if you take those updates to social media every time you get them. It happened to Candace Cooley and Dylan Round's case, to the point where she started pushing for other agencies to take over and things like that, because she felt like she wasn't getting the communication that she wanted and deserved and needed. But it was because she was bringing everything that they told her to social media. You've seen it in the Idaho 4 case. Steve was taking everything that he was told to the media. So then you stop getting communicated with. They have to protect their investigation. And as much as it's your right to know as a parent, they still will put the the fight for justice or finding a child, the safety of Sebastian, over Seth's need to know. Because here's the reality to the situation. If Sebastian has been taken by someone, let's think about this. If he could have went outside in the middle of the night because, perhaps he had arranged to meet up with somebody, and he went outside and he was taken by this person. Maybe it was somebody he's met up with before. We've heard now that he has walked around this neighborhood before. People have seen him walking. Maybe it was just somebody from up the road that he had met up with and became friends with. We don't know the motivations of that person as to why he has not been able to reach out to any of his friends and family. We don't know if he is in a safe situation, if that's the case. A lot of these kids that get lured out by individuals, either online or that they know in person, um, it's for nefarious reasons. It's because there's some type of inappropriate relationship going on, whether it's an adult with a child or something along those lines, right? And so you have to keep that in mind. And by adult with a child, I mean, like, sometimes these victims, I mean, Sebastian's 15. If this person who he left with is 19, 20, it's still statutory rape, right? It's still illegal. And so that's something to keep in mind too. It could be somebody who's just within a few years of him that wanted him to go with them, right? So that's something to keep in mind. It's still not okay. Also speaking badly of the investigation. Yeah. It definitely can happen, especially with autistic children, right, who have no sense of time or danger. My autistic daughter at 13 decided to go to the park at 4:30 a.m. Oh, geez. That's so scary. That's so scary. Yeah, his meds make him drowsy. Best to stay off YouTube and just sleep. I wish we knew more about the medications and if he had them that evening and things like that. Was there somebody who ensured that he took his medications that evening? Because I know that, like, even with my son, I can stick Post-its on every inch of the house telling him to take his medication. I can hand him his pills sometimes and say, "Hey, go take your medicine." And somehow still between handing him the pill bottle and him getting a glass of water, he forgets to take his medication. Like, you have to watch him physically take the pills. And I'm curious, like, how that is with Sebastian. Yeah, when he gets in trouble, he goes to the school, right? Or he wants to go to that school. You're just lucky your Ring camera went off and she took her phone. Wow. Yeah, that you have a tracker on. You don't even want to think about what could have happened to her at 4:30 a.m. alone, right? And this isn't necessarily a dangerous neighborhood, but there is pedophiles that live in that area that I'm sure were investigated. But for every single pedophile that has been found guilty and put onto the registry, how many more out there do you think that there are that have never been caught, that have never been registered, that have never been on a list? I mean, God, I'm going to bring up a case that is going to make you guys sick even talking about it, but we just talked about this the other night. Locum did with Kamari Holland's case. This disgusting creature that hurt this 5-year-old baby right here. This disgusting Jeremy Williams that hurt and killed Kamari Holland admitted to police while he was talking to him, while he was talking to them and confessing to his crimes before he gets quote unquote put to death. Um, Literally admitted to essaying his own stepdaughter on a daily basis, his own 5-year-old stepdaughter on a daily basis, in addition to what he did to Kamari, right? In addition to also admitting to killing his own one-month-old child. Like, dude's just disgusting. Was he ever on a registry? Nope. Sure wasn't. Sure wasn't. And so for every single person who's out there on a registry, there's people like this that are walking around that are just terrible people. Absolutely terrible people. Could his meds cause sleepwalking? I don't think so. Yeah, there is. There's way more questions than there are answered. Oh, yeah. Seclusion works. It's a disgusting case. Absolutely horrific. Locum, I was reading down through the details. He pled guilty, but since it's a death trial, they still had to have like a 3-day trial so that the jury could sentence him to death or not. And let me get you guys the link. Here it is. She was reading down through that the other day. Yep, people get away with it for years before they're caught. And so here's my point. So if he had somebody, even just while he's walking around these neighborhoods, allegedly, he could have had a friend, quote unquote friend. Yeah, the 4 suspects in Michael Vaughn's case were not RSOs. Only the neighbors, right? Yeah, Angie baby, it was disgusting. Anyways, let me get back to this audio. Sorry. I kind of got sidetracked.
He's going to start getting the word out to all his crews that are out here working. Everybody, 94 to 1,000, so we can get a game plan and reconvene. Hey, Target, can you
put a drone right over top of this trash can, this dumpster, if there's anything in it. 188. Van 184 is going to send you a picture.
You send a code red for 1008 Stafford.
Code red was sent out at 0745 this morning.
2-4. We will send that in good. Can we retry that, please?
10-4, will do.
12 188.
Go ahead, sir.
Can you come to 1008, please?
3-4.
12 to any units that are going to be assisting with 1008. Please come to 1008 Stafford Court now, please.
Start at the beginning of Kelly Lane 1000. We're going to work our way north of Kelly Lane. That's fine. I'll get these two houses right here, and we'll take the right side. The white Ford truck, that's the Hendersonville officer's house that's with me.
She got like this ominous music on it. It's makes it so much like, what? Yeah, the registry's good to have, but if they haven't been caught, they won't be on it. Hi, Roberta.
No, that house hasn't been checked. The next house up from is a single white Ford in the driveway.
We log a neighborhood Facebook page. Post is made 1023. Check. No motion on camera.
Unit on Stafford. We've had an additional caller call in that was in the news stating she saw someone that made the description on Hogan's Branch. Male with sandy blonde hair with a bag wrapped around his head. Chest stated he had on a reflective jacket approximately 2 hours ago.
Oh, so that was a sighting that was called in at what time? It's 9:44 a.m. Wait. Let me make sure I got the audio. So sometime before 9:44 a.m. And she pulls up the match here, or the thing saying that, they could have seen a possible sighting of him on Hogan's Branch Road, which would have been 9 minutes from where his house is, depending on which way he went. But if he's not taking streets, I don't know. Could that have happened? Who knows? Right? But that's something they were following all this stuff up.
Blonde hair with a bag wrapped around his head. Chest stated he had on a reflective jacket approximately 2 hours ago.
30 command. 139 World End has a camera, but nobody's answering the door. He had some ties at White House High School, and every time he got in trouble, he wanted to go back to White House, so I notified White House PD, or notified their SRO.
10-4. 10-4, that was the cameras, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here's the link to this. This is Jessica Danielle. I honestly never even heard of her until Michelle brought up this audio that she pulled up. So there is her link for this video. She took the time to go through Broadcastify and pull all of this out, and even put the closed captions up, the little pictures, things like that. She did a great job.
Well, nobody's answering, nobody's home. In reference to that address, please run a registration check on Tennessee tag. Tennessee.
Inspector 2012 BMW 750 black in color, registered.
So like they're right off that.
Address.
They're looking into these different vehicles that are there, things like that. They talk about the just the command center units going in soon. Talking about showing up at the house.
Confirmed NSR.
Greg, when you can't see it, you can find any information. See if we can look up on a phone number or something. We would appreciate it.
Command units that are at Stafford Court. When you check a residence, Please give me the numeric and unit numbers that have checked it and whether or not you made contact with anybody.
Made contact.
So like that's 9:51. They are starting their map. The map that we keep seeing on Nick Barra's Channel 5 News, the big huge with all the red circles and stuff like that. They're already starting that map. 9 something in the morning.
With 1000 Killing Lane. He checked all of his cameras. Nothing was on. No answer at 102 or 103 Killing Lane.
The thing that gets me with this is at 15, most kids that would have run away at 15, there would have been none of this. It would have just been, meh, they're gone. Like, seriously, minimal search efforts normally, unless you get a kid with something like autism or some type of developmental delay or diagnosis or medication situation. That's the only reason that he got this much attention, is because he is autistic. He has autism. Otherwise, I can't picture police lifting this much of a finger, especially not within 3 hours of him going missing. I guess where you run into problems, like I seen somebody compare this case yesterday or the day before. I can't remember. Oh God, I was scrolling through YouTube trying to look for if Seth had been on and where he had been on. I seen Katie's most recent interview and things like that, and I seen somebody comparing Chris Proudfoot on their thumbnail. And if you know who the creator was, don't say it out loud, because I can't, I don't even honest to God know which channel it was. But they had Chris Proudfoot on the thumbnail in comparison to Mark Redwine. And my mind just like, what? Because I don't see how you can make a connection between Dylan Redwine and Sebastian Rogers. I don't see any logical connection between the two cases. First of all, because Chris Proudfoot was nowhere near, from what we know, number one. Number two, if he would have come into the neighborhood at some point that evening, there would have been camera footage that's seen him coming in or out of the neighborhood. That's number two. But the other thing is, with Dylan Redwine, they struggled. His mom struggled to get police to take that case seriously. Like, they did a lot of searching, boots on the ground themselves, because he went missing. It took years for Mark Redwine to be investigated. It took years for him to be arrested, and it was 9 years before that bastard was ever found guilty. I mean, and so I guess what are they trying to imply, that like somehow Chris Proudfoot did something similar to Sebastian that Mark did to Dylan? I don't see the connection. I just don't. I don't know. I don't see how we can put foul play into a case where it doesn't exist already. And don't get me wrong, like that's part of true crime, is the wondering and the wanting to know the details and wanting to know the answers and things like that. But like, I mean, I guess I'm trying to like think of how I'm trying to say this. Whenever you're following true crime and you're doing actual true crime following, you're looking at the facts of the case and the details of the case, and you're analyzing those facts, and you're speculating around those facts that have been given to us or that we have found. And that's where your conclusions and where your speculation should come from. For example, Michelle After Dark, I dropped her link at the beginning of this video. the Michelle After Dark situation, she pulled up what the police say in this scanner about the school, and she says, hey, maybe Sebastian could have went to the school. That makes sense because we have now heard the fact that he would like to go towards that school. Okay, I can go with that theory. Like, hey, that's speculation that can make sense to me. But to go from Sebastian to Dylan Redwine, it's like my mind just explodes. Like, I don't. Or are they saying that Sebastian may have saw Chris in diapers? I don't know. The diapers? I know that. Well, so Mark Redwine had a fetish where he would go to the bathroom in diapers and then eat it and take photos of himself doing it. Are they trying to imply that? Like, I have no idea where that creator's head was. I just seen the thumbnail and I was just like, what? Like, come on, talk about stretching, man. Talk about stretching. Oh, man. There's no comparison to Dylan's case with, yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, if you're gonna put the theory, maybe I guess I should have watched the video to see where the comparison was and how and why. I just don't know. Yeah, I agree. And that's where the issue is, Jess. I wish that the police would come out and give us actual factual information to go off of. Honestly. I wish they would. It's usually the Wells they compare the other parents to. And so the difference is, though, the Wells came on and no, I do see a lot of similarities between this case and Summer Wells' case, but mostly because of TBI. Right here we are in Tennessee again with no factual details being put out, no information. Parents just putting out whatever they can onto social media, onto this platform, whether it's with the intentions of trying to help find their child or what their intentions are, right? We have to assume that whenever Don Wells first came out, his intentions were to get help for his daughter, to find where Summer Wells are, whether you like the Wells, don't like the Wells, right? We have to assume that Chris and Katie coming to this platform, coming to social media, their intentions were to get help for Sebastian. Right? Seth, his intentions are to get help for Sebastian. But does it help? I don't know. I mean, it gets more eyes on the case, right? This is where we get into that bitter double-edged sword, because you can look at each one of these situations and look at it and think, like, this doesn't help, this doesn't help, this doesn't help. But does it? Because look how many thousands of people never heard about this case that probably would have never heard about this case. He would have been just another 15-year-old runaway. Just another 15-year-old runaway child, because that's how they are labeled after a certain point. And that would have been it. That would have been it. And it would have gone nowhere. And nobody would have been looking for him. And nobody would have cared. Do you know how I know nobody would have cared? Do you know how I know nobody would have gave a rat's butt outside of his family that he was missing? Because let me pull up Tennessee's missing children right now. How many of you care about any of them? Right? I mean, honest to God, how many kids are missing in my own town that I have no freaking clue about? Right? Why? Because we didn't emotionally connect to these children. We didn't see a parent pleading. We didn't hear a story that we could connect with. We didn't see somebody devastated over missing their child. If the parents don't help push the stories, then they never get seen. Look, Malia. Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard of any of these kids that we scroll past. All from Tennessee. Right? Any of them. Maybe just type their name if you've ever seen any of these missing children from Tennessee. Oh, there's Sebastian. But you get my point. If his family had to come to social media, you have to. And I hate to say that because I know there are a lot of people, and this is not virtue. I'm not trying to be on one side or the other. I am against the anti-true crime people. I think it's ridiculous that we are trying to control what everybody is doing with their channels. And I think it's absolutely obscene that we're trying to control how people think about different cases. And now we're trying to legislate the hell out of everything and stuff like that. It's stupid, right? It's absolutely stupid. We're all going to have difference of opinions on this case. We're all going to have difference of opinions on all of the cases. But the point is, if the parents don't reach out for help, if they don't make their kid known, if they don't share the story, nobody cares. It's just another missing kid that will likely never be found, especially, I hate to say it, especially from Tennessee, because they don't seem to find missing kids. They don't really have a really good track record. Just saying. Not on cases that I've seen anyways. Not on cases that I've cared about. They ain't finding no kids. Don't go missing in Tennessee. What is this? 4-year-old. I never even heard of her case. 4-year-old missing since April 15th, 2023. Did anybody see her case? Did anybody care? Honestly. Did anybody care? Seriously. This is just the reality, right? Just the reality of missing people. And this is why true crime is so important. Because if we bring attention to 1, 2, 5, 7, 15 more faces a year than what have ever been brought out to this platform or to social media, it's important. It's important. I could sit here and give you a list of children whose faces we have shared that their parents attribute us to helping find them because we helped share their faces and then they were brought home. It's a double-edged sword. It just is. And so we all have to determine what's right in our own eyes, because how I do things and how I look at things is going to be completely different than how you look at it. And this was what I was telling Allegedly Innocent the other day in her chat. Her and I do not agree on probably 99.9% of the cases that we cover. I don't agree with half of her, 99% of her theories I don't agree with at all. But I still respect her opinions and her point of view on every single case because it makes me think a different way than I never thought. Right? And we need that other thought process, whether people like it or not. We need the other thought process. We need every group, each audience. I have people in this audience that will never go to JLR's audience. I have people in this audience that will never go to Allegedly Innocent or to Pascal or to wherever. And they have people in their audience that would never come here. We need every single one of us and every single different point of view and every single different thought process on how we look at these cases. because we want every community to see this child's face. We want every single thought process to see this kid's face out there. And I'm going to tell you something. If Katie and Chris and Seth had an issue, they would have went to law enforcement and got it shut down. They could have went after people privacy strikes on YouTube and got stuff shut down. At the end of the day, it's getting Sebastian's picture out there and his face out there. If people 6 months, a year down the road end up facing lawsuits because they want to say slanderous statements towards them, that's their prerogative. You know? It sucks. Yeah, you don't know. You don't know if they're putting out bad info, good info, whatever. I caution you about Facebook groups, especially if you see an anonymous post, you have no idea who posted it. It could have been a YouTube creator going on saying, anonymous post, I'm a neighbor, I'm a loved one, I'm the aunt, I'm whoever, anonymously posting it, putting up their salacious post, screenshotting it, and then coming onto YouTube and showing you this anonymous post going, whoa, look out, it's an anonymous post. We're just to the point where as long as his face is out there, I don't even care. I'm not going to go from channel to channel telling everybody how to run their channels. I don't care. Talk about the kids. Put their faces out there. Share their stories. They're still missing. There's so many that are still missing. Talk about them. Talk about it. Follow YouTube Terms of Service and talk about the kids. That's it. That's all I care about. That's it. Because they're still missing. All of them. We have no answers. In so many of these cases, people are terrified to talk about. When have you seen me talk about Summer Wells? I think once in like 3 years. Almost 3 years I've been on this platform. One time. Why? Because I'm so freaking worried about, oh, is so-and-so gonna do a she's a tragedy pimp stream about me later on? Or are they going to say that, oh, well, now she's just doing this for clicks and views? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of tiptoeing around people and worrying about it because whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. Fuck it. I'm just going to talk about who I want to talk about on my channel. If you don't like it, go away, right? You don't have to be here. You don't have to like how I talk about the kids. You don't have to like who I cover. That's it. And that's how we should all be. We should all stop worrying about what these tragedy pimp exposed channels are going to do to you. We shouldn't all be, there shouldn't be YouTube police outside of the YouTube Terms of Service, but there is. Everything has turned into drama stream after drama stream after drama stream after drama stream about every other creator, and it's freaking ridiculous. Worry about your own channel. And I'm going to tell you something. I pointed this out to B. Tim the other day, actually, and he got pretty frustrated with me. But they took a salacious statement that one creator said. One salacious statement that one creator said. And it was covered by 12 channels. This one statement that this one creator said was covered by 12 anti-creator channels. 12. So instead of that one statement getting said to one audience of 100 to 200 people, it was now said to thousands of people because, well, we got to call it out. Okay, call it out. Keep spreading the hate. I'm going to keep spreading faces. Start talking about my channel, I dare ya. Because this is where I am. Sorry, I completely got sidetracked off of all this. And I apologize to people who came for Sebastian Rogers, but the entire situation is just really frustrating me lately. And I'm just sick of it. You guys want to go sit there and hate each other and hate each other and hate each other and hate each other and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Stop trying to pretend you're true crime channels because you're not. You have nothing to do with true crime. You just want to be on the opposite side of each other and just hate each other because they're not doing it your way and in your opinion. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. All right, I'm done. I'm getting off. I'll talk to you guys later. I gotta go.